2.
On World News Tonight this Sunday, will she or won't she? Hillary's still not talking, but everyone else is.
I think Hillary Clinton would be one of the best senators of all time.
More American pilots are returning to work, but the airline says it will be days before things are back to normal. And at the school that inspired Animal House, the Greeks are preparing for battle.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight, Sunday.
Good evening, I'm Carol Simpson. With the impeachment trial behind us, Clinton's future was a big topic on the Sunday talk shows today. Not just President Clinton, Hillary Clinton. Here's ABC's Tim O'Brien.
The mere idea of the First Lady running for the Senate was the talk of Washington today.
If she does run, she'd be a very strong candidate, and I think she'd win it.
I think Hillary Clinton would be one of the best senators of all time. I think she'd be great.
Among the powerful Democrats supporting the idea, the incumbent senator from New York she would replace.
She'd be welcome, and she'd win.
The president's chief of staff, appearing on ABC's This Week, had the opportunity today to knock down the speculation, but he didn't.
A number of people, as you noted, have been really urging her to run, and I think she wants to hear them out and think it through.
She might be running against the popular mayor of New York City, Mr. Giuliani.
I think if she decides to run, she'll win.
Mayor Rudolph Giuliani is a power in New York City, but he was unable to help re-elect Senator Alphonse D'Amato, a conservative Republican, last November. D'Amato lost to Charles Schumer, a liberal Democrat who, as it happens, Hillary Clinton had gone all out to support. There are obstacles, to be sure. One is a constitutional requirement that senators be residents of the states they represent. The First Lady remains a legal resident of Arkansas, but she could always move to New York. Just as Robert Kennedy did in 1964. Charges the lifelong Massachusetts Democrat was a carpetbagger were effectively brushed aside with a single phrase.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow New Yorkers.
Kennedy went on to take New York by a wide margin. Not everyone thinks Mrs. Clinton wants the job.
Imagine if you were First Lady of the United States, would you want to be the junior senator from New York?
Or wants to do what it takes to win.
She has to be on the campaign trail. It's an extensive commitment to be, again, under the microscope.
And one prominent conservative is so persuaded Mrs. Clinton would lose, he today offered to pay to see her run.
Well, I would be willing to pay her filing fee, frankly, and hope that she runs because I want to see a Republican win the Senate seat in New York.
Other Republicans are all but salivating over the race that is shaping up.
I think it would be an incredible race. Might be one of the great races in history of Giuliani versus Mrs. Clinton.
Mrs. Clinton may have been looking north today as she flew south to Mexico with the president, leaving behind the clear impression that a new political career may also soon be taking off. Tim O'Brien, ABC News, Washington.
President Clinton is on his way to Mexico tonight for a summit with President Ernesto Zedillo. High on the agenda, Mexico's cooperation or lack of it in battling the drug trade. The summit is in the city of Merida on the Yucatan Peninsula. ABC's Sam Donaldson is there. Sam?
Well, Carol, as you noted, the president is coming here on serious business, but he will find this city of 557,000 in a festive mood as it celebrates the carnival time that precedes Lent. The colorful carnival parade took up most of the downtown space today. There'll be another one tomorrow, which the president will see when he's not meeting with Mexican President Ernesto Zedillo. Like the last time the two met in Mexico, the main subject will be the war on drugs. Has Mexico done enough in the past year to earn the recertification that will keep full U.S. economic aid flowing? Mexican efforts by many indexes have fallen short, but U.S. officials are emphasizing the positive.
Their own evaluation of where they are is pretty brutal and frank. However, we have to give them credit for what they're doing.
And Mexican officials expressed their resentment at U.S. congressional critics.
Some legislators try to put the emphasis on how many heads have you extradited. I think it's an unfair way of measuring the Mexican efforts against narco trafficking.
The two presidents will talk about other issues, including trade, but the war on drugs is the big one. All the indications are that by March 1st deadline, the president will recommend recertification of Mexico as having cooperated sufficiently to meet U.S. law. Congress will then have 30 days to vote it down if it chooses, but at this point appears unlikely to want to do so. Carol?
Thank you, Sam. ABC's Sam Donaldson in Mexico. Progress is reported to be slow at the Kosovo peace talks outside Paris. But today, Secretary of State Madeleine Albright did manage to bring the Serbs and the ethnic Albanians together for their first face-to-face talks.
Both sides told me and each other that they recognize that they faced a historic opportunity, that the killing must stop, that time is short, and I hope this joint meeting will be a model for further discussion in the coming days.
Today, the Six-Nation Contact Group extended the deadline for the peace talks until next Saturday. Still ahead on World News Tonight this Sunday, the latest on the American Airlines strike, plus coffee, tea, or handcuffs, how airlines are dealing with the growing problem of air rage, and a new book on the JonBenet Ramsey murder.
This is World News Tonight, Sunday. Brought to you by Puffs.
Having kids is an education. Having 3 is a master's in economics. 1 is never enough of anything. Good thing there's Puffs Advanced. 1 can do the job of 2 of that other national brand because it's twice as strong. So you can use it every day for just about everything. And there's no lotion in this Puffs. Really strong? Works hard every day? Sound like someone you know? Puffs Advanced. Just like you, 1 can do the job of 2.
Pizza Hut dared anyone to find a better pizza.
Oh, really?
Papa John took the challenge and won in independent taste tests. 1 big time. That's not surprising. After all, we were named Best Pizza Chain 2 years in a row.
Anybody can claim to make a better pizza, but it's you, the consumer, who've decided. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
Try our Papa's Choice, a large pizza with your choice of up to 5 toppings for just $10.99.
Have I been a good husband? Have I taught my children the right things? And have I learned from what they've taught me?
We each measure success in our own way. Now Dean Witter and Morgan Stanley have joined to provide a world of investment advice on a personal level.
Have I done the best I could? Yes, I believe I have.
Morgan Stanley, Dean Witter. We measure success, 1 investor at a time.
American Airlines had to cancel hundreds of flights today, but believe it or not, it looks like things are getting better. ABC's Ron Claiborne has the story.
Hundreds of pilots returned to work today as their 9-day-old sick-out began to falter under the threat of a multi-million-dollar fine. From a peak of more than 2,000 pilots on the sick list 2 days ago, it was down to less than 1,000 this afternoon. Cancellations were also down from 1,100 yesterday to fewer than 500 today.
I was nervous, apprehensive about getting on my airline, but so far everything's okay, so I'm happy.
Even though the effects of the sick-out are diminishing, American has already canceled about 300 flights for Monday, one of the busiest travel days of the year. But American announced late this afternoon that service will soon be back to normal.
If things proceed as they have been over the weekend, by Tuesday we'll be back to full operations, and tomorrow we'll see a dramatic improvement.
Faced with a huge potential damage award, union leaders today pleaded with their pilots to return to work on their telephone hotline.
We need to get this airline back up and running at full capacity, and we need to do so quickly. Please clear the sick list immediately and resume your normal schedule.
IO2 is open. Come with me, sir.
Okay. American is well aware this past week has been a public relations disaster. On this Valentine's Day, it tried to pacify passengers with small gestures. Some analysts say it will also have to offer deep fare discounts to win back unhappy customers, which means that American could feel the financial impact of this dispute long after it's over. Ron Claiborne, ABC News, Miami.
Even without a work slowdown, air passengers face plenty of stress. Long waits and little legroom can lead to short tempers. And in the confined space of an airplane cabin, that can be dangerous. U.S. officials have not paid much attention to the problem until now. ABC's Andrea McCarran reports.
A flight attendant will bring you a drink if you're thirsty, a pillow if you're tired, but disrupt the flight and you may get served some of these. Plastic handcuffs, the latest line of defense against the soaring problem of air rage. That's when belligerent passengers break the law by interfering with the flight crew's ability to do its job.
I was kicked in the back, I was kicked in the stomach, I was punched in the face, I was just literally beaten from head to toe.
Renee Sheffer says she was seriously injured when an out-of-control passenger hurled her over 3 rows of seats and shoved her into an overhead compartment. Just last month, a passenger on board a British Airways flight broke a window before he was restrained.
Do you have anything to say to the flight attendant?
And perhaps the most notorious incident in 1995, when an executive used the food cart as a bathroom after being refused another cocktail. Last year alone, 142 cases of air rage were prosecuted.
We have not received adequate training on how to handle these situations.
This week, the Federal Aviation Administration proposed an increase in the penalty for unruly passengers from $1,000 to $10,000.
On Thursday, the plan cleared its first congressional hurdle, gaining approval from a Senate committee. The airlines applaud the move.
We can tell someone who is maybe we think about to become truly disruptive, hey, you know, you're looking at a $10,000 fine if you keep going down this path.
While the airlines blame air rage on passenger stress, fatigue, and often alcohol consumption, many believe the airlines should bear some of the responsibility.
The airplanes are more crowded than they've ever been. There's less service. There are fewer flight attendants to take care of the people.
Renee Sheffer is still recovering from her injuries.
Unfortunately, the wake-up call is going to be when a plane comes down.
But she won't quit flying, even though she knows at times the friendly skies are not. Andrea McCarran, ABC News, Washington.
Coming up, Orthodox Jews take to the streets in Jerusalem.
Woods aren't the only place predators lurk. If you were being followed, would you know what to do? Make sure your doors are locked, windows up. Don't go home. Drive to where there are people, someplace bright, then lean on the horn and draw attention. For more safety tips, get this free book from Shell. Count on Shell.
Who can resist
Hey guys, I got one!
an interesting twist?
Yeah.
Like Kellogg's new Nutri-Grain Twists in 3 deliciously twisted new flavors.
Ah, he's too small. Throw him back. Yeah.
That weight on your shoulders looks pretty heavy, son. It's taxes. Go on.
Not just my taxes. I'm doing my sister's, my nephew's. Everyone's getting married, having kids. I don't even know if I'm doing them right.
Son, there have been over 800 tax law changes. Maybe they're expecting too much of you.
Yeah. Hey, I don't think I got your name.
H&R Block. We know. Do you?
Frequent heartburn. Is it worse at night, especially after dinner?
Mm-hmm.
Have you treated it, but still suffer on 2 or more days a week?
Mm-hmm.
Has your heartburn been a persistent problem for you?
Uh-huh.
Your heartburn may be due to a potentially serious condition called acid reflux disease. Ask your doctor about Prilosec. Just 1 capsule daily can provide 24-hour complete heartburn relief. 24 hours. Ask your doctor for more information about Prilosec and if it's right for you. The most common side effects are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Want 24-hour heartburn relief with 1 daily dose? Ask your doctor about the 24-hour complete heartburn relief of Prilosec.
A new book comes out this week about the murder of JonBenét Ramsey. More than 2 years after her murder, the case is still unsolved. But as ABC's Tom Foreman reports, the book is already sparking controversy.
For 5 months, a Boulder County grand jury has been hearing testimony about the murder of JonBenét. Now, Lawrence Schiller's new book, Perfect Murder, Perfect Town, is aimed at giving the public an inside look at the case. But it is coming under fire.
So I don't have any idea where this came from, but
Did this ever happen?
This did not ever happen.
Pam Griffin saw Patsy Ramsey after the murder. The book quotes her as saying, "Patsy said something like, 'We didn't mean for that to happen.' The book says it left Griffin with a clear impression Patsy Ramsey knew who killed JonBenet. Today, Griffin vehemently denied the entire account.
As much as I care for her, if she'd at any time given me any indication that they had harmed that baby, I would not have protected her."
The book offers other details. During police questioning, it says a detective asked Patsy Ramsey, "What would you do if I told you we have evidence you're not being truthful?" Patsy Ramsey allegedly grew hard and shot back, "Let's see it." No one knows, of course, how much of this evidence the grand jury has heard, but legal experts have always said this will be a very hard case to prosecute.
This is no slam dunk, that this is no case in which you can go in, put on one law enforcement witness, have him summarize all the evidence, and expect the grand jury to issue an indictment by the end of the afternoon.
Indeed, more than 2 years after JonBenet's murder, who killed her and why remain as mysterious as ever. Tom Foreman, ABC News, Boulder, Colorado.
Returning to news overseas, in Israel today, about 200,000 Orthodox Jews blocked the main route into Jerusalem. They're accusing the Israeli Supreme Court of engaging in religious persecution by enacting laws which diminish their power. About a mile away, some 50,000 secular Jews staged a counter-protest, saying the Orthodox Jews have too much power.
We do not want religion to take over and decide our lives for better or worse. Religion is okay for those who believe, but it cannot decide how justice is being used or how justice is being done.
Secular Jews make up about 80% of Israel's Jewish population. Heavy snow and cold are wreaking havoc in parts of Eastern Europe. In Hungary, nearly 300 communities remain snowed in. Army helicopters had to drop food today. At least 18 deaths in Hungary are being blamed on the snow and bitter cold. When we come back, life and death decisions with no time to think. The inside look at the life of a cop.
Cleaning your teeth, protecting against plaque and tartar buildup, and prevention of gingivitis is crucial. You got that, Ellie Mae? About 75% of all dogs have gingivitis. As a vet and a breeder, I recommend Dentabone to help fight it. With regular use, it's been clinically shown to reduce gingivitis, and it takes minutes, not hours, to chew. Just look at the difference Dentabone made in these two dogs. It's part of a dental plan that helps keep your dog's mouth healthy.
Dentabone from Pedigree, developed with vets, recommended by top breeders.
When it comes to your health, never compromise, even when choosing a laxative. You need one that's strong enough to work overnight, but also gentle. Try doctor-recommended Dulcolax. Its comfort coating even protects your stomach. Get strong, get gentle, get doctor-recommended Dulcolax.
Want to improve your morning ritual? Give up your soap for a week and discover a way to feel clean and soft with rich lather and Olay moisturizers. Prove it yourself with moisturizing body wash from Oil of Olay. Proven to moisturize with a feeling that's clean.
Okay, you probably think they look alike. But with Gateway, you get basic help over the phone for as long as you own it. After a month, you pay for it. Here, you get a color printer. Nope, not here. This one you can trade in toward the purchase of a new one after 2 years. Yours forever. Still think they look alike? We'll build you a PC with an Intel Pentium 2 processor for $1,598. Call us or come into Gateway Country.
You may be surprised who's drinking Ensure. Healthy people. Why? Because to help you stay healthy, you have to eat right. For the times you can't eat nutritious foods like these, drink Ensure. With the essential vitamins and minerals you find in vegetables, calcium like in milk, and protein like in fish. Ensure is a source of complete balanced nutrition to help you stay active and energetic. Drink Ensure. And drink to your health.
In New York City today, a procession escorted the body of Amadou Diallo to the airport for the trip home to Guinea. The African immigrant was killed when New York City police fired 41 bullets in an incident that has sparked charges of police brutality. Marcus Kirkland has been an officer with the Philadelphia Police Department for 6 years. He talks about the pressures of the job in tonight's Point of View.
Being a police officer is the only job I know of that you can go to
work. Something can happen that can completely destroy your life, can destroy the life of those around you and your livelihood, and come home to nothing and be locked up and put in a cell because you wanted to be safe and you wanted to take care of yourself or someone around you.
What color was the gun you saw?
I carry a Glock. Since I've been a police officer, I've probably joined it about 300 times. Of those times, probably about 150 times I've joined it and pointed it at someone. I can shoot 18 bullets, and I also carry a magazine that allows me to stop and do an empty magazine reload. Shooting 35 bullets, it would take no longer than probably about 15 seconds. After you stop, maybe there's someone on the side and they just saw what happened. They might say, wow, he didn't have to shoot 10 times or he didn't have to shoot 15 times. They don't know that that person has a gun, and if you shoot them one time and you don't hit them in a critical area, or you don't hit them and it doesn't stop the aggression, they can return fire, but one shot for them and you're gone. There are times when police officers use force and they're criticized in the paper. In times you sit back and you say, man, they just don't know. They just don't know what we're faced with. We have people, we have family that we want to go home to. We're just human, just as human as the other person. I spent 7 years in college. I took the job as a police officer to help someone. I've been involved in 5 police shootings. All of them I had to draw my weapon, but I didn't have to shoot. Last week I was involved in a high-speed car pursuit, and at the end of that pursuit, the guy had drawn his weapon and then pointed in the direction of the police officer. And there was another instance of a police officer having to use deadly force to protect themselves and those around them. I had a lot of nervousness in me, a lot of fear in me, a lot of adrenaline was pumping. I didn't know what that guy, when he pulled the gun up, I didn't know if he could point it at me. He pointed it at some of the other officers. He could have pointed at me and shot. The public might walk by and say, wow, they had no need to pull out their gun on that guy. Wow, they had no need to shoot that guy. And you have to make a decision. Less than a second, less than half a second, less than 1/5 of a second, you have to make a decision.
A point of view from Philadelphia police officer Marcus Kirkland. ABC's John Miller has certainly heard his fair share of police stories. Before becoming one of our correspondents, he worked as a spokesman for the New York City Police Department, and he joins us now. John, we heard Officer Kirkland talk about how necessary it is to make split-second decisions, but do police have to shoot so many times?
No, they don't, and in fact their training is basically to let 3 shots go if they make the determination to shoot, and then reassess or re-aim and fire again. Reality is, though, in an actual incident when the gunfire is going off, so much of that training is taken over by instinct and fear. Now, fear is a thing that police officers don't generally like to speak about. It's not macho, it's not popular in their ranks, but often that's the overriding driver in an incident when the bullets start flying.
It exists. In New York City, in the Diallo shooting, we understand that 3 of the police officers were under 30 years of age. Does the age of the police officer and his experience have something to do with how he reacts?
I found, responding to a number of these shootings when I was deputy police commissioner, that age and experience have a lot to do with it. You found the older cops tend to fire less, tend to fire less rounds, and tend to fire actually less often. But in the 70s, when I first started as a crime reporter, the young cops that were coming on the job were coming out of the Vietnam War. They had already fired many shots. They had already been under fire. They had already killed people and seen people with them killed. When they heard their first shots fired in anger, it was a much less rattling experience to them. A lot of these younger officers today, being a police officer is in fact their very first job, their first contact with firearms, their first contact with danger. And I think you see that in some of the reactions and in some of the fear.
Thank you very much, John Miller, ABC. Still ahead, a controversial proposal rocks Dartmouth College.
This is your nose with nighttime nasal congestion. This is your nose with a Breathe Right nasal strip. Breathe Right lifts open your nasal passages with a simple spring-like action, which helps to relieve nighttime nasal congestion. Breathe Right. All night.
Who can resist
You're getting big.
an interesting twist? Yeah. Like Kellogg's new Nutri-Grain Twists in 3 deliciously twisted new flavors.
Anybody want to walk for a little while? No, me neither.
Let's break away, relax your mind, where twisted roads help you unwind. You're in control now, You're on a roll now, you're making whoopee.
Nothing puts you in complete control quite like the Agile DeVille.
You're really moving, it feels so soothing. You're making whoopee.
DeVille, for the time of your life.
When arthritis pain hurts, you want relief fast. But some pills can cause stomach irritation. Rubs can have odor. Aspercream's different. Rubbing an Aspercream relieves minor arthritis pain. No stomach irritation, no odor. Aspercream. Pain relief without aspirin.
Tonight, ABC is taking everyone by storm. Entertainment Weekly calls Storm of the Century a steamy winter thriller. TV Guide calls it mesmerizing. Linoge is one of King's greatest supernatural villains. This storm delivers shiver-inducing entertainment. Stephen King's Storm of the Century. Tonight at 9/8 Central on ABC.
Finally tonight, Dartmouth College was the inspiration for the movie Animal House, where a raucous fraternity wages war on the college administration. But today at Dartmouth, it's the administration that's waging war on fraternities and sororities. ABC's Mark Mullen has that story.
Let's get fired up about this.
It's the most controversial thing to hit this campus since women arrived in 1972. A plan that has mobilized almost every Dartmouth fraternity and sorority from Alpha to Omega.
We must protect our rights.
The Greek system here, the fraternity and sorority system here, as we've known it, is going to be ended.
Dartmouth College trustees have proposed a plan they say will redefine campus social life. It's aimed at the college's 25 same-sex fraternities and sororities, a plan that could force Greek houses to go co-ed.
The whole reason I joined this house was to meet new guys and expand my, horizons.
I wanted to be in a house where there are all females, and that was my choice.
College administrators say fraternities and sororities, whose membership is by invitation only, are too exclusive, and that single-sex organizations don't reflect life in the real world.
I don't think we're necessarily seeking to find a way to get students to behave better. We're trying to make the experience they have here one that's more fully co-educational, more fully inclusive.
But some think the plan is just a way to get rid of party-throwing fraternities. This weekend, on what was supposed to be the biggest campus celebration of the year, Greek houses canceled all of their more than 20 parties and protests and held a rally instead.
The whole image of us in the media as the Animal House is not that accurate. We're not a bunch of debaucherous.
Dartmouth's party school image was established thanks to the movie Animal House, whose writer Chris Miller was a member of campus fraternity Alpha Delta.
If they think because men and women live in the same house, that is going to somehow magically transform everybody to Elizabeth Dole, they're wrong. The women of Dartmouth can party like crazy.
Dartmouth is promising money to the Greek organizations which incorporate changes. But even with these financial incentives, this 150-year-old tradition on campus will die hard. Mark Mullen, ABC News, Hanover, New Hampshire.
And that's our report for tonight. Tomorrow, watch Good Morning America. I'm Carol Simpson. For all of us here at ABC News, have a good week and happy Valentine's Day.
A revolution in weather forecasting, knowing where the weather disasters will be, even how much damage to anticipate.
Watch ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings.
Who are you?
The Magic returns
I'm your fairy godmother, honey.
in a special Valentine's